You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet.
This is Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook and stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktails series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, The Doug Stewart Show, Sports Talk with Hot Sauce.
Yeah!
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Attention Viagra, Levitra, and Cialis users. Current prices average between $25 and $35 per pill. Are you searching for an alternative to the high prices you now pay for brand name drugs? We're providing U.S. consumers a low-cost alternative. Our current special is 50 pills with free shipping for $99 with incredibly fast shipping times. Our phone staff is available right now. And did we mention that shipping is free? Call right now to take advantage of this special offer. 855-781-3847. With discreet home delivery and 100% satisfaction guarantee. What are you waiting for? Call for an affordable alternative. Our current special is 50 pills with free shipping for only $99. Call 855-781-3847. Speak to a rep about getting a discreet shipment to your home and start saving a ton of money. Viagra, Levitra, and Cialis users. You can't afford to not call 855-781-3847.
System 5 Electronics is proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's just a few reasons to choose System 5. Not only is their monitoring station located here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own your security alarm system once it's installed. Not only have they been around for almost 25 years, but their customer service is excellent. And you get direct access to the owner, Mr. Maceo Brown, to resolve any issues with your alarm system. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736. And make sure and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Yes!
The blind stares of a million pairs of eyes, looking hard but won't realize that they will never see.
The puppetry must stop! We are for real around here. The trillest sports talk show in America. The Doug Stewart Show. Yes!
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's happening? Yeah, what up? This is your boy Doug Stewart. Thank you so much for joining me on this Man Talk Monday. Yes! Yes, yes. February 23rd, 2015 is today's date, and it's a Man Talk Monday once again. Thank you so much for joining your boy. You can email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Or you can give me a call, old school style, at 404-382-0338, and we have an absolutely packed show for you today. As we do every single day. But we're doing some new marketing, man. It's just amazing to me. So I'm at the fight last night, Sunday night fights in the ATL, and so many people came up to me, and the first thing that I always hear on these streets for the last couple of years is, when you and your brother coming back? And I'm like, man, I've been back for 6 months. Man, I'm back. Yes, my brother is retired, but I'm back. I've been back for 6 months, but it's amazing to me how many people don't even know I'm doing the show, man. So if you are a listener to the show, or if today's your first day listening to the show, pass the word and tell people about the Doug Stewart Show. I've been back, man. Yes, sir. Yes. Doing it Stu style. Speaking of which, the fights last night, man, shouts out to Route 30 Promotions. Shouts out to Manu Jones. Just a first-class event last night at the Mansion Elan. Off the Chisane. Yeah, off the Chisane, man. Great night of boxing. A couple of guys that shouldn't box anymore. They shouldn't do that for a living. But all in all, man, the bouts were great. A lot of action. A couple of very skilled guys out there fighting last night, man. So shouts out to Route 30 Promotions. Shouts out to Deontay Wilder. Shouts out to Manu Jones, the big wig at Route 30 Promotions. The Mansion Elan. Shouts out to everybody, man. We had a great time last night. The place was packed. And if you follow me, and I don't know why I didn't do this. If you're not a friend of mine on Facebook, then you can't see the pictures I posted. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try to share that photo album of pictures I took last night with my phone, and I'll post them in the Doug Stewart Show group page. That's what I'll do, all right? So make sure you follow the Doug Stewart Show group page, and I'll post those pictures for you at some point on today's show. A ton of pictures from last night. Great event. Fantastic. Thank you all so much. If you came out, people that bought tickets for me, thank you so much. A lot of people came up to me, said they do listen to the show, and they heard about the event on my show. So shouts out to everybody that came out last night. All right. Did you see the Oscars? Clearly I didn't see them. But from what I'm understanding, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, from what I'm understanding, this Michael Keaton movie, Birdman, just cleaned up and won all of the major categories. And I've been hearing people talk about this movie for a while. Haven't seen it. Clearly, I didn't see the Oscars last night. And I'm not really a big Oscars guy. I'm a huge Grammy guy. American Music Awards, I guess I can relate. But a lot of times with the Oscars, the taste in movies and what they deem is good and what they deem is a fun movie, they totally differ from my opinions. The people that are in charge of the Oscars and the voting or whatever, they're very artsy. And a lot of times I think they overthink themselves. My criteria for a movie is, did it keep my attention? Yeah, did it keep my attention? Was it interesting? Was it exciting? Was it a great plot? Was it a great storyline or whatever? And a lot of times with these movies, 9 out of 10 of these damn movies, most regular dudes had never heard of them, okay? But I have heard of the Birdman movie, and I guess the reason why I paid attention to that title, one, because it's Michael Keaton in it, and from what I understand, he once again cleaned up last night. But it's Michael Keaton, so it's somebody I'm familiar with as far as an actor. And then the whole title, Birdman. If you've seen this movie, shoot me in the chat room on Spreaker.com, on the Doug Stewart Show chat room. Does this movie have anything to do with, the old school Birdman, the cartoon that used to come on Saturday morning in the early 70s? Birdman! Or does it have anything to do with Hawkman or the Falcon or any of those comic book heroes? I mean, because I saw, a Birdman comic hero in one of the promo pictures for the movie, but clearly a movie about Birdman, a cartoon character, a comic book hero, didn't win Academy Awards last night. So it's got to be more to it. And once again, these people, they're super thinkers, quote unquote. They're very, artsy or whatever. So yeah, shoot me in the chat room or email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com and just give me the plot of this movie. And I didn't even look it up, and I could have looked it up, but I thought it was more fun to ask you, the listeners, the dogs and the poodles and the Stewies, have you seen this movie? Because they got me wanting to go see this damn movie right now. And I had no desire at all when I saw the trailers and when I saw the commercials or whatever. I had no desire to see this movie at all. But now they got me wanting to see it because it sounds like something I would want to see, talking about a comic book hero. But something tells me that's not what it's about. Yeah, so if you've seen it, thumbs up or thumbs down? Should I go see it or should I wait till it's on demand? And I think that it's actually on demand right now. It's actually, you can see it on your cable. I don't think it's in the theaters anymore. I'm pretty sure of that. But, yeah, what are your thoughts on Birdman? It cleaned up last night. When I think Michael Keaton, like I'm trying to think of all the Michael Keaton movies that I've seen. And, obviously I've seen the Batman movies. I'm Batman, which was fantastic, which I always, when it's crazy, all of the actors that have played Batman, I still think of Michael Keaton. And I don't know why. And I don't know. I still think Batman's Michael Keaton. Like that's the theme, or that's the guy who I think about when I think about Batman. What else have I seen him in? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Obviously Beetlejuice, which was fantastic, which was crazy. And I'm looking at this little list right now. Beetlejuice came out in 1988. That's my senior year of high school, so that's right in my wheelhouse. But then Batman came out a year later in 1989. So I remember at the time back then that we were very skeptical, like, how the hell are you getting Beetlejuice to play Batman? It didn't make sense at all. But he pulled it off. And I guess which talks about how great of an actor he is. It didn't seem strange at all when you started watching the movie, when you started watching Batman. So that talks about him being a great actor. But, yeah, he cleans up last night for this this Birdman movie. And I want to get your thoughts on that. What's another Batman or another Michael Keaton movie I've seen? He was in Jackie Brown. And I didn't think his role was that great in that movie. But, those Tarantino movies, a lot of times, they're just strange as hell, so I'm not going to really ding him for that. You remember Robert De Niro was in Foxy Brown and played like, I guess he was a heroin addict or something, but Robert De Niro, one of the most established, most well-known, most respected actors in Hollywood history, he played a role where he didn't say a damn thing, I don't think he made one. I don't think he had one line. He was like mumbling. It was very strange. I talked about that before as well. But, yeah, give me a call at 404-382-0338. That's the number to the show. And also the other big thing that happened this weekend is the NFL Combine. You talk about some ninjas making them some money this weekend. And we're going to talk about it in the next segment. But you talk about guys that made them some money this weekend. Oh, my gosh. In particular, Jameis Winston. I don't think that after what he did this weekend and how great that he looked, passing the football and the drills, even the whiteboard that he did with Mariucci that I saw some of the clips from, I don't think that it's even a question right now on who's going to win or who's going to be drafted in the first round. I just don't think there is. And that's going to be Jameis Winston. I mean, he just looks solid. Just like solid as hell. But you know what? Why was there even a question? Okay, why was there even a question? And, it's still yet to be done, and something crazy might happen. But why was there a question about this guy as far as his quarterbacking ability and his ability to play the quarterback position? Because the guy's lost one game in 2 years of playing college football. I mean, he's pretty damn good. I mean, there's no denying that. He's pretty damn good. And when you start hearing these quote-unquote experts and even haters like Todd McShay and all of those guys, when you hear those guys say he's the best talent at quarterback coming out of college since Andrew Luck, and oh yeah, don't forget, the last best quarterback prospect to come out of college into the NFL before Andrew Luck was John Elway. So you're talking about John Elway, Andrew Luck, and these guys are mentioning Jameis Winston in the same sentence. And he basically... he showed them. He was like, y'all can eat a fat one. This is what I do. This is what I do. Yeah, me and D. D who? D who? D's nuts. Yeah. So he looked great this weekend. We'll talk about him. We'll talk about some other guys that made some money at the Combine this week. Chris Conley. Oh, where'd that guy come from? Huh? You talk about not using your talent. Georgia should take a lot of heat. That man got some skills. That man got some athleticism about himself. But we'll talk more about it when we get back. What are your thoughts on the Oscars last night, on this movie Birdman, and whatever you want to talk about, man. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-File, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedougstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7.
Attention Viagra, Levitra, and Cialis users. Current prices average between $25 and $35 per pill. Are you searching for an alternative to the high prices you now pay for brand name drugs? We're providing U.S. consumers a low-cost alternative. Our current special is 50 pills with free shipping for $99 with incredibly fast shipping times. Our phone staff is available right now. And did we mention that shipping is free? Call right now to take advantage of this special offer. 855-781-3847. With discreet home delivery and 100% satisfaction guarantee. What are you waiting for? Call for an affordable alternative. Our current special is 50 pills with free shipping for only $99. Call 855-781-3847. Speak to a rep about getting a discreet shipment to your home and start saving a ton of money. Viagra, Levitra, and Cialis users. You can't afford to not call 855-781-3847.
System 5 Electronics is proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's just a few reasons to choose System 5. Not only is their monitoring station located here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own your security alarm system once it's installed. Not only have they been around for almost 25 years, but their customer service is excellent. And you get direct access to the owner, Mr. Maceo Brown, to resolve any issues with your alarm system. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736. And make sure and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Yes! Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Man Talk Monday. And man, I didn't even remember to tell you that I'm going to talk to the great Chris Dolman a little bit later in today's show. That's right, former Minnesota Viking, Hall of Famer. Yeah, Chris Dolman was a beast. 150 sacks in his NFL career, man, just a fantastic player. Played for the Falcons for a minute, so we're going to catch up with him. He actually went to the Hall of Fame in 2012 after not making it for many, many years, which is crazy. And I guess I kind of get why. You know, you have to have some type of determiner on who gets in, like, first ballot or who doesn't. And the Vikings, the team that Dolman's most notably remembered by or for, they never won anything. They never won any damn Super Bowls or anything like that. So I guess I get it. But Dolman was like an all-century team, all 90s team, I believe he was. Just a fantastic player. So we're going to talk to the great Chris Dolman a little bit later on today's show and find out what he's got going on. The number is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's see. Make sure and create your DraftKings account on DraftKings.com. And when you do, use the promo code Spreaker and get whatever you deposit up to $600 matched. That's right. Anything you deposit up to $600 will be matched. So if you put in $600, you'll be playing with $1,200. All you got to do is use the promo code STU. All right, that's the promo code STU. This segment is brought to you by Meds from Nature. Meds from Nature sells the top natural medicines with no side effects, and they're also FDA regulated. Unlike supplements or herbs over the counter, prices lower than Whole Foods. Plus, tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you and receive an extra 25% off. That's medsfromnature.com. Yes, sir. Shouts out to the great Meds from Nature. All right, so I solicited you guys' thoughts on the Oscars, on this movie Birdman. I'm trying to decide whether I want to waste or use 2 hours of my life to watch this movie because it's piqued my interest. It got and won so many awards last night. I'm kind of interested in it. And also we're talking about the NFL Combine, man. We're going to talk about, Combine. Chris Bosh is in the news. Some teams possibly moving to L.A. OKC still fighting. Also, we're going to talk about Pacquiao and Mayweather. It's done. It's a done deal. Yeah, I'll give you my thoughts on that a little bit later on today's show as well. But, the Combine, man, a couple guys in particular. And my big thing and my big takeaway from the Combine every year pretty much is it's amazing to me how much the NFL has us just locked and loaded and loving the product. No matter what it is, we're going to watch, whether it's the Combine, whether it's the NFL Draft, whether it's some little mini story that comes out about a player. We just love the NFL so much. I watch, and this is not a lie, man. I watched 4 hours of the Combine on Saturday, man. I did. I watched 4 hours of the Combine on Saturday, and I just love it, man. I don't know why. It's really a big waste of time, but it's better than pretty much everything else on TV. Yeah. It's interesting to see these guys that we've watched for a couple of years in college and how they test and what they actually run in the 40-yard dash and how they look on the drills and whatever. It just is. It just is. So a couple of guys that definitely made some money this weekend that jumped out at me was, number one, Chris Conley from Georgia, man. He just ran the 40 in 4.35. I mean, and he had an impressive broad jump as well. He had an impressive high jump as well. Just a fantastic athlete. He made some money this weekend. And also the wide receiver from UAB, speaking of wide receivers, J.J. Nelson, he had the best 40 on the day at 4.28 seconds. That's a phenomenal 40-yard dash. I mean, just phenomenal. He was slight, though, so I don't know how much that's actually going to help him. It's obviously going to help him, but it's not going to help him that much because he was a real little fella. Who else made some money? Vic Beasley. Vic Beasley, the defensive end from Clemson, made a ton of money. He balled out of control, man. Had an impressive 40-yard dash. He bench pressed. How many times did he bench pressed the 225? Like 35 times or something crazy like that. Just unbelievable. He made some money. Who else made some money? And I mentioned as well a little bit earlier, Jameis Winston. I think that he cemented the conversation as far as who's going to be taking the number one quarterback in the draft between him and Marcus Mariota. Now, I will say this, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Marcus Mariota, man, seems like a very intriguing player to me. The problem I got, man, with Mariota, and I've said this before, this is kind of for new people that are listening to the show for the first time, I just don't trust that system that he comes out of. And you look at all the quarterbacks that have played under that Chip Kelly system in college, they really haven't done too much. And they've been running those type of plays and that spread type offense at Oregon for a long, long time. Even you go back to Joey Harrington, they ran a lot of that stuff. But if you look at the quarterbacks that have come out from the last couple of years, man, nobody's really just wowed the NFL. So I do, buy into that system factor for quarterbacks that come out of there. Now, skill-wise, he's the exact guy that I would love to have on my team. But the problem is that the NFL just won't adapt to a large degree. They're starting to a little bit, but not to the degree that they should for Marcus Mariota. The whole weekend long, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, the whole weekend long, the conversation from these experts and these analysts that were on the field with these guys was, can he operate from a huddle? My question to them is, why should he operate from a huddle? And why would you want to make this guy operate from a huddle? You understand? Or the conversation was, Can he get under center? Huh? So you're already from the rip saying that this guy is going to have to change what he did the best when he comes into the NFL. So that's kind of the mindset on why I think it's hard for quarterbacks that play in that type of system and the spread systems to be successful in the NFL, because the mindset, the mentality has to change from the NFL hierarchy. It does. And they aren't ready to do that. And you got to remember, NFL coaches, assistant coaches, they're lifers. Like, they've been around for 30, 40 years, some of these guys, man. So they're not going to just, like, change overnight. And once again, you're kind of seeing some of these spread offense plays come into the NFL, trying to highlight and accentuate these guys, the things that they do the best, their attributes, but not to the degree. Like, why would the conversation be, if you're trying to draft Marcus Mariota in the first round, why would you already look at things that you're going to change about him from day one? He was successful doing it this way in college. You know, why wouldn't you just try to adapt to what he does in college? Like, I would bring in whoever the offensive coordinator, the assistant offensive coordinator is from Oregon to be on my staff. I would. And if I draft this guy, I'm not going to draft this guy to change him. That doesn't make sense to me. And you know what? And I've been saying this for many, many years. And the mindset, the mentality is starting to change once again a little bit, but not to the degree that it should in 10, 15 years from now, because you're starting to see it's not a coincidence, okay? You're starting to see the most successful quarterbacks have the ability to run, to have athleticism about themselves. It's not a coincidence that over the last 5 or 6 years, you've got Russell Wilson, you've got Cam Newton, you've got Marcus Mariota, you've got Johnny Football. It's not a coincidence. So the NFL is slow to change, and once again, it's because these guys, they're setting their ways, these offensive coordinators and these offensive guys, they're setting their ways, and this is how I've done it for the last 40 years, so this is the way we're going to continue to do it. And I just don't think that's the right way to think. I just don't think. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show from the chat line on Spreaker.com. And make sure you follow me on Spreaker.com. Follow the show on Spreaker, and then just jump in the chat and be totally interactive like all of the Stewies. What up to all of the Stewies, as a matter of fact, man? Shouts out to my man, Rel Scott, King Kane, Vince Wright, Jungle Brother. Who we got here? Vince, Fred Mack, Markellen Sigler. Damn, what kind of name is that? Shouts out to y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for being totally interactive on the Doug Stewart Show. Let me read some of this chat. Rel Scott, no Oscar talk, please. And he stressed it. No Oscar talk, please. Vince Wright, BPA nominee is the Oscar telecast. Birdman is awful, awful, awful. What? All right. Let me see. Let me keep reading. Fred Mack, Giuliano gets a early BPA nomination. Old racist ass. Eugene Jackson, Doug, let me hear you say Pac-Man May 2nd. Pac-Man will shock the world. 5-round knockout. What? 5-round knockout of Floyd Mayweather Jr.? So I got some money on that. Email me, inbox me, and we'll figure out some type of wager on that. Matter of fact, we can do it live over the air. Marcon Siegler, dude, Michael Keaton used to play Birdman similar to Adam West playing Batman, and the movie was about his comeback to do a play after he was typecast. Oh, yeah, I'm getting all of this brilliant conversation, and this was a brilliant movie, and it's fantastic, and it's one of the best movies I've ever seen from all these artsy people, I guess you'd call them, as I continue to call them. Okay, I get the storyline. I get it. Yeah, okay, I get it. Still trying to decide if I'm going to go and see it, though, if I'm going to see it. Jungle Brother. Man, F that damn Academy Awards. Nobody talking about the gay dude, Doogie Howser, coming out there, nothing but his Fruit of the Looms. What? After giving Janet Jackson a hard time, there's no uproar. Well, I mean, if he had on clothes, I mean, having on drawers is much different than showing off your nipple. I mean, it's a big difference. Real People Music, Birdman plot, washed up actor, used to be famous. Okay, so I got that. Okay, so I got the plot. I didn't even look up what the plot was about, so that's what it's about. He's a washed up actor, typecast as a bird character, Birdman character that he played. I might still watch it. Now, I might be mad when I see it, but I'll still watch it. All right, when we get back from the break, the big news this past weekend, the biggest news outside of the NFL Combine and me watching 4 and 5 hours of it, is Pacquiao and Mayweather is on. And we're going to talk about that when we get back from the break. What are your thoughts on it, man? Ooh, we're going to talk about when we get back. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. You promised yourself you were going to take better care of your health this year, right? Here's a great place to start with Meds from Nature. MedsFromNature.com sells homeopathic medicines for consumers looking for safe, natural, and effective alternative health products. You then say, Stu, what's homeopathy? Then I'd say it's the safe, gentle, and natural system of healing that works with your body to relieve symptoms, restore itself, and improve overall health. Meds from Nature sells the top natural medicines with no side effects, and they're also FDA regulated. Unlike supplements or herbs over the counter, they have a lower cost per dose than prescription medicines, prices lower than Whole Foods, plus use promo code SPORTS and get an extra 25% off. Shipping and handling charges kept to a minimum. Then they safely pack and quickly ship the products to their customers. So check them out at medsfromnature.com and get your health in check for 2015. Yes! First of all, thank you for listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on The Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Thank you so much for joining your boy on the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Man Talk Monday. And talking about everything from this past weekend. I actually need your ballers and your busters. I don't think I mentioned that today. But that's what we do on Mondays. We give out ballers and busters and a.k.a. game balls and goats and talk about everything from this past weekend. So I'm going to read a lot of your chat here on the Doug Stewart Show. The number is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. A little bit later, former All-Pro, now Hall of Famer, Chris Dolman is going to join me on the show. We'll find out what's going on with him. But all we do is talk about what happened over the past weekend, some of the events over the weekend. So the Combine was big. Some other things happened that we'll get into. But the biggest news, this may even as far as single news, Pacquiao and Mayweather, a fight that everybody's been talking about for I don't know how many years, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. As of right now, it's going to happen. And so we had heard from many, many people, my guy Jose Santiago, and many, many people in the know in boxing that the fight would never happen because of Floyd Mayweather's disdain for Bob Arum, Manny Pacquiao's promoter, and they had a terrible breakup when he was managed by Bob Arum, talking about Floyd, and that he would never do it. And so that made sense to me for a very long, long time, and people saying that he was scared to fight Pacquiao is just ridiculous. And this is something I didn't even really pay attention to until I saw the side-by-side, the stats this weekend. Floyd's actually bigger than Manny Pacquiao. He has a further reach, and he's never lost a fight. like why? Where did the hype come from about this fight? To me, or to me, I don't get it. Like, Floyd should dominate this fight. Right. They're both really small, tiny dudes, but Floyd's actually taller. He has a better reach, and he's never lost a fight in his life. Not only has he never ever lost a fight in his life, he's never even come close to losing a fight. You do realize that, right? Like, Floyd Mayweather has never even touched the canvas. He's never touched the canvas. Ever, ever, ever. So not only does he have statistics on his side, not only does he come from a boxing family, but he hadn't been on the canvas. But the other part of that is he doesn't even really get hit. Yeah. So I am happy that it's going to happen. And I guess at the end of the day, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, at the end of the day, the one reason that I thought that Floyd might put aside his disdain for Bob Arum is because of money. And they're talking about this fight, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is going to make somewhere around $120 million. Huh? $120 million that this man's going to make for this fight. And Manny Pacquiao is still going to make like $80 million, which means that Bob Arum's going to make a lot of money too. So I guess at the end of the day, Floyd was like, all right, let's just make this money. I mean, you can go ahead and Bob Arum's going to profit from this, and I hate Bob Arum, but I guess he came to his senses and said, it's $120 million. So whatever. Let's go ahead and do it. Give the people what they want. I am taking all wagers. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I am taking all wagers for this fight, May 2nd. And it's going to be a fantastic weekend in sports. I think I saw like a stat as well. A bunch of great things are happening that weekend in sports, like the Kentucky Derby and maybe NBA playoffs. A lot of great things are going on that particular weekend. It's going to be one of the greatest weekend in sports history, and I can't wait. I can't wait, man. Floyd's going to dominate. Floyd, let me just say it right now. Floyd's going to probably win this fight by decision. He won't knock out the guy. He won't knock out Manny Pacquiao. No disrespect to Manny Pacquiao. He's a great fighter. But Floyd is an elite all-timer. So it's going to go to distance, and Floyd will win. And the thing you got to worry about, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, if you're a boxing fan, you know how boxing works. The thing you got to worry about is a crappy, crazy, freaky decision, if you're Floyd. So I don't know if he has the opportunity, he goes for it, takes the risky route and tries to get inside and tries to score a TKO or a knockout on Manny Pacquiao and gets caught with a punch. I don't know if, because Floyd's a smart boxer, and a lot of people hold that against him, but he's not stupid. So he doesn't need to have this thing be close. Let me just put it like that. That's the only question in my mind is, if it's close, do people that aren't fans subconsciously, judges, do they give Manny Pacquiao a decision? Okay? But if all things go according to plan and the way they should be, or the way they should go, Floyd should win this fight easily. He should. And then, the question and the conversation is going to be after that, he didn't really control the fight, or something's going to happen controversial, and they're going to say that Manny should get a rematch. Manny was duped or whatever. So it's never going to end. I'm just happy that the fight's going to actually happen, and that all of these Floyd Mayweather Jr. haters can just clam up. 44382 0338 is the number to the show. Yeah, what are those people going to say now that's been saying for many, many years that Floyd's scared, that Mayweather's scared to fight Manny Pacquiao? He's going to do it. He's going to do it. So you can't even talk about that anymore, which was ridiculous in the first place, to talk about this man, one of the best fighters of all time, being scared of another man who he's clearly better than. Yeah. I mean, he's scared of a guy that he's clearly better than. His record says it. His skill set says it. Everything says it. But he's scared. Okay, yeah, whatever. From Scotty, Phil Jackson gets a Bust Award for ruining the Knicks and then talking ish about the team on Twitter. Yes! Did y'all see that talk from Phil Jackson? And let me paraphrase it. Basically, before the Knicks played the Cavs this weekend, for people that don't know, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, before they played the Cavs, Phil sent out this tweet. It was very ominous. And in effect, the tweet was saying how, real players or real teams, they show their heart and this, that, and the other when times are tough. To that effect, and I'll pull up the exact tweets here in a second. And then after the Knicks got crushed by the Cavs, Phil comes back and basically like threw some bowls at his own damn team. Like, who does that? Phil Jackson did that this weekend. And it goes back to my conversation earlier in the year. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And my commentary on, I don't care what Phil Jackson wants. I don't care that he was a former Knick. I don't care, whatever kind of demands he has. I am not bringing Phil Jackson in as a GM and not have him be the coach. You can be the GM part-time, but damn it, you're going to be the coach for the first year. And you're going to bring Derek Fisher in under your tutelage. Maybe Derek Fisher can go on road games. You can stay home because that's something that you've been arguing about for the last couple of years as a coach, that you don't like to travel. But damn it, you're not getting this money. You're not getting this money. You're not getting this job as a GM until you get the culture of basketball, and Derek Fisher understands the culture of coaching and how you want things to be done without being a coach. And it's as simple as that. And the Knicks made another horrible mistake, it looks like right now. It's still early. It's just his first year. But it looks very bad right now, the move to bring in Phil Jackson as a GM. And now he lightweight throwing shade on the team that he's the GM of? That's unbelievable. I mean, I've never seen anything like that before in my life. I've never seen anything like that before in my life. And here go the tweets right here. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. This is Phil Jackson. Each NBA game is an opportunity for players to show their best nature and please the basketball gods. And those who know that, it takes. And then after the game, today's game versus the Cavs, basketball gods, heartburn, and those that know what it takes means a SMH, shaking my head. Huh? I think Phil was drinking. He must have been drinking. Yeah, Phil must have got a problem with the bottle. For the GM of the team to send out a tweet like that, you had to have been drinking, right? Knicks fans, where y'all at? The studio audience hates y'all too. It couldn't happen to a better ball club. It couldn't. And I know Vern, this Vern probably on the line right here. Yeah, what Vern's going to have to say. Vern is the biggest New York Knicks fans that listens to the show. My gosh, y'all are just pathetic. The Knicks are pathetic. Hadn't won a championship in 40 years. Everybody think they went to the upper echelon organizations in sports. And it's just ridiculous. You hired a dud as the GM. Your all-star player playing in all-star games but getting shut down a week later. Supposed to have bad knees, playing for 30 minutes. Y'all are just a mess. Your coach, a Laker great, struggling. Derek Fisher. Y'all just suck. Y'all suck. And I'm holding two thumbs down to the floor. Y'all absolutely suck. And it couldn't happen to a better organization. All right, up next on the Doug Stewart Show, man, I'm going to read a lot of chat. That's what I'm going to do in the next segment. I mean, y'all make the show totally interactive, so I'm going to read a lot of your chat, your talk on everything from this past weekend. Your ballers and your busters. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play. So, you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. The Doug Stewart Show. Everybody's different, man. And this really takes you back to my number one question. Okay? This wouldn't even be a topic of conversation. Larry Foote and all of his other detractors, Marshawn Lynch's detractors, wouldn't even have to even make comments and give commentary like this about how he's showing kids that you don't have to respect authority. He wouldn't even have to do this. They wouldn't even have to make these politically correct statements if the press would just stop putting a microphone in front of this dude's face. There would be no reason to have a discussion, a geopolitical discussion about Marshawn Lynch and his effect to society and to kids and their thinking on authority if the media, who are all sensible people, would stop putting a microphone in front of his face.
Attention Viagra, Levitra, and Cialis users. Current prices average between $25 and $35 per pill. Are you searching for an alternative to the high prices you now pay for brand name drugs? We're providing U.S. consumers a low-cost alternative. Our current special is 50 pills with free shipping for $99 with incredibly fast shipping times. Our phone staff is available right now. And did we mention that shipping is free? Call right now to take advantage of this special offer. 855-781-3847 with discreet home delivery and 100% satisfaction guarantee. What are you waiting for? Call for an affordable alternative. Our current special is 50 pills with free shipping for only $99. Call 855-781-3847. Speak to a rep about getting a discreet shipment to your home and start saving a ton of money. Viagra, Levitra, and Cialis users. You can't afford to not call 855-781-3847.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. And the number is 404-382-0338. You can email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Thank you so much for joining your boy. Pass the word. If you're a company out there and you like to partner with the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. This segment is brought to you by System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems featuring smart solutions. You can get it for as low as $1,650 per month with System 5. That's unbelievable, man. They've got all of the new age technology. They're just fantastic. Been around for over 25 years. So if you want to check out System 5, make sure you tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Remember that. But check them out online at system5electronicsinc.com. Once again, that's system5electronicsinc.com. Let me read a lot of this chat here, man. I thank you so much for the chat. The chat makes this show what it is. It's totally interactive. The Doug Stewart Show. So I normally read a lot of chat. We'll do that today. We do that every single day. A little bit later, we're going to talk to the great Chris Dolman, former Minnesota Viking. He's going to come on and just, we're going to catch up with Mr. Dolman. From King Kane, Jameis did look good Saturday. Clearly the best quarterback. I thought Bryce Petty threw better than Mariota, and I'm an Amari Cooper guy, but Kevin White is a beast. Mariota ran like a deer compared to Winston. And once again, Jameis Winston isn't. I'm not going to call him Byron Leftwich, but he's very Byron Leftwich-ish. Right. He's not that great of an athlete, and you can tell he's kind of knock-kneed, kind of slew-footed, as they would call it in the country. So he's not the greatest athlete in the world. And that is the intriguing thing about Marcus Mariota, is the fact that he's got this great athletic ability. Like I kind of put him in the mind frame of what I kind of expect him to be or wish that he could be is kind of like Steve Young. Could he be a Steve Young type player? If he could, on the upside, that'll be fantastic. On the low side, you're talking about, like I mentioned earlier, a guy like Joey Harrington or any of these quarterbacks that have come out and run these spread type systems in college and not panned out to the NFL. A lot of it, really not being, their fault, as I talked about earlier in today's show. From King Kane, from Marqueen Sigler. I hope I got your name right, bruh. Not a question of his ability. It's a question of Winston's character. He is so dumb as ish. Yeah, and I'm not saying you can't factor or you shouldn't factor that in. You should. I just think that the things that Jameis Winston did are because he's who he is. Did you see the little interviews that he did with the cast of NFL Network after the fact, after he worked out? The guy is just like he's just like so jovial, and he's always cracking jokes, and you saw the little footage of him when they were taking pictures of him. He was dancing and just supremely confident. And I think a lot of the things outside of the rape accusations, a lot of the things that he did was just stupid college kid stuff that you go back and talk about him and his character outside of the game or off the field. I mean, none of that stuff was really serious. None, except for, once again, the rape allegations. But I don't know, man. I just don't think as a franchise, being the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Lovie Smith, they've got a very good offensive line. They've got great wide receivers. I don't think you can pass on them. And I've said it before. Here's the thing. If you draft Jameis Winston and it doesn't work out, I don't think most experts can say that you were wrong in drafting Jameis Winston. I just don't think most experts can say that. You have to. Just like last year with Jadeveon Clowney. You had to. If it was your team that had the first pick in the draft, you had to take Jadeveon Clowney last year. And especially in the situation with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers where they need a quarterback, you've got to take Jameis Winston. I mean, the guy came in, running. I mean, as soon as his feet hit the ground in college football, they were winning national championships. He was winning Heisman trophies. The guy has been talked about as being the best quarterback since Andrew Luck. And then before that, once again, it was John Elway. So he's in a rare class. If it doesn't work out, and Jameis Winston does act the fool off the field, okay, it's not, to the degree where you say, well, we're not going to take him for character issues. The character issues things are very questionable, and you need a damn quarterback. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So I think you got to take him. 404-382-0338. Let me go ahead and grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Yeah, this is Jersey, man. What's going on?
Vern from Jersey. What up, Vern?
Man, you know everything is chill, man.
How's your coach doing? How's your GM doing, Vern?
How's my who doing?
How's your GM doing for the New York Knicks?
Before we get on that, man, let me give a big shout-out to Maceo Brown, man. That brother came to my subdivision about, 8-10 years ago, and he signed me up, with System 5 Electronics.
Oh, yeah?
And I've been there, yeah, big time, man. I upgraded and everything. I got everything.
Oh, that's what's up. I mean, he's a real cool dude. I don't think he's actually going out on installing systems anymore.
No, he don't install. What happened, we had a subdivision meeting, and he came out there and, signed people up, man. That's what a good businessman do.
That's what's up.
You come out there and get your hands dirty sometimes. But on this Mayweather fight, I'm going to get the field. Don't worry about it. I'm going to get the field now. On this Mayweather fight, Doug, I'm with you on that Mayweather thing, man. Anytime you got your uncle and your father in your corner, both of them used to be professional boxers, ain't no way no man coming from this little cat-eating town going to come in there and beat you up. You know what I'm saying? I just point blank, man. And all these brothers, I thought the white media was the only ones going with Mayweather. But to listen to brothers and see brothers talking about Mayweather, I mean, Pacquiao going to beat Mayweather up? Come on, man, get real with that. But Phil, Doug, listen, man, the only reason you talking about what Phil doing with the Knicks is because you mad because he left the Lakers. That's one big thing. You've been like that since day one when he left the Lakers. You know, you got mad. You was a little salty because I remember your conversations back in the day.
Uh-huh.
But you know one thing about it, man, and Phil we trust, and when we get the number one draft choice, and, you know, Phil going to bring – he don't need Carmelo to bring no players in. Phil going to bring some players in, and for that cat named Eugene on the site, when we take Jimmy Butler from you, then I want to hear what you got to say then, man. And with all that, man, I'm gone.
And he's gone. Appreciate the call, Vern. 404-382-0338. All right, studio audience, shut up. Shut up. I mean, the man can have his own opinion. He can have his own opinion. Yeah, y'all going to struggle. It's going to get a lot worse, Vern, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets any better. I mean, I'm just telling you. I mean, y'all got absolutely nothing. Y'all got nothing in New York. From King 50, I've been telling people for the longest, Phil Jackson is not the greatest coach. He just goes to the team with the best player in the league and builds around them. Well, I'm not going to say Phil Jackson isn't a great coach because I do think the psychology of what Phil Jackson has done historically with the Bulls and with the Lakers and getting superstars to play together, I think that does account for a lot. Is he the best coach of all time? I don't know. I mean, that's a debate that we really can't quantify or answer, definitively. But right now, Phil Jackson, the GM, is struggling. And I did say struggling with a C. He is struggling, and that organization is struggling. And I know good and well that the organization is like, my gosh, even we didn't see this. Maybe we thought that we struggle a little bit this year, but even we didn't see this, talking about an organization, the Dolans. From Real People Music, how is it Phil's fault that these dudes can't follow directions? Well, Phil's not coaching them, first of all. I mean, so that sentence or that statement sounded Real People Music, kind of like he's a coach. He's not a coach. He's not down there on the floor. And I guess you're talking about the players. He hired a guy. His management skills were to bring in a coach that could relay his message and his teaching and his coaching methods to its players, I guess, because Derek Fisher is brought in to run the triangle, what Phil Jackson did for many, many years successfully, and it's not working. And I remember they always used to talk about you have to have certain players to run the triangle. You have to have a dominant player like Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, but then you have to have players that understand scheme and schematically what you want them to do on the floor. And it looks like the Knicks don't understand it yet. It looks like they don't understand it, and that's the understatement of a lifetime. It looks like they don't understand what's going on. From King 50, Phil went from Jordan, Pippen to Kobe, Shaq. How hard can it be to win? I hear you. I just hate not to give a guy credit for how many rings? 11 rings? Yeah, 6 with the Bulls, 5 with the Lakers. It's hard not to give a guy any credit when he wins 11 rings. It's just very hard in my book not to give that guy credit. Yeah. All right, this is the Doug Stewart Show. When we get back from the break, hour number 2. And this show just flies by if you didn't know, if this is your first time listening. We have a good-ass time. Yes, sir. So we get back, man. I'm going to read more of your chat. And then I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the NBA. Chris Bosh, the Cavaliers, they pick up another player or about to pick up another player. We'll talk about that. More of your chat, more fun. This is the Doug Stewart Show. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! System 5 Electronics is proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's just a few reasons to choose System 5. Not only is their monitoring station located here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own your security alarm system once it's installed. Not only have they been around for almost 25 years, but their customer service is excellent. And you get direct access to the owner, Mr. Maceo Brown, to resolve any issues with your alarm system. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736. And make sure and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Yes! You promised yourself you were going to take better care of your health this year, right? Here's a great place to start with Meds from Nature. MedsFromNature.com sells homeopathic medicines for consumers looking for safe, natural, and effective alternative health products. You then say, Stu, what's homeopathy? Then I'd say it's the safe, gentle, and natural system of healing that works with your body to relieve symptoms, restore itself, and improve overall health. Meds from Nature sells the top natural medicines with no side effects, and they're also FDA regulated. Unlike supplements or herbs over the counter, they have a lower cost per dose than prescription medicines, prices lower than Whole Foods, plus use promo code SPORTS and get an extra 25% off. Shipping and handling charges kept to a minimum. Then they safely pack and quickly ship the products to their customers. So check them out at medsfromnature.com and get your health in check for 2015. Yes! Hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you for joining your boy. The number is 404-382-0338. You can email me as well as Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. But the big way, the easy way to be totally interactive, where I read all of your opinions and your thoughts, is in the chat room on Spreaker.com. Yes, sir. So a couple of things, house cleaning notes. Follow the show. Hit the little follow button on Spreaker.com, and then you can jump in the chat. And then also download my app from the App Store, the DougStewartShow.com. All right? I mean, we're doing it real big Willie style. We got a bunch of other great things in the works that we're going to try to drop on you very soon here. But the Doug Stewart Show, man, is just, I mean we're doing great. I mean, we're about to crack 100,000 listens in just 6 months. We're on our way to 4,000 followers here very, very soon. We're doing a lot of new marketing, trying to reach out and let people know that the show is going on. And this show basically is different than any other sports talk show in America. It's sports talk, but it's guy talk, a lot of times more so than sports talk. All right, it's dude talk, whatever dudes are talking about. If I had to put a percentage on it, I'd probably say 70% sports and 30% dude talk or guy talk. Like we do man law shows and we talk about subjects that dude talk about. Like last week, it was a huge conversation about the first annual BPA award winner, and actually it's BPA winner, boiled peanuts winner. That goes to Dwight Howard, the very first ever BPA winner. Yes, boiled peanuts winner. Got into a conversation with a dude, tried to call me out on the Doug Stewart Show Facebook group page, talking about, who would I take, Andrew Bynum or Dwight Howard? And he's trying to skew the conversation up, but because the point was, when I was saying that, Andrew Bynum was healthy. He was playing basketball. And skill-wise, Andrew Bynum was way better than Dwight Howard. And, Dwight Howard's grabbing people's testicles and stuff. I mean, he loses a lot of points for me for that. So, yeah, if all things considered, if all things are equal, if they're healthy and they're playing basketball, and they're healthy. That's the big thing. If they're healthy, Andrew Bynum was a better center than Dwight Howard ever could be. Dwight Howard's just a guy, and I didn't mean to even get on this Dwight Howard rant today. But Dwight Howard, man, he should be a lot better than he is. Dwight is basically a glorified Kevin Willis. He is. He is. He's a big guy, no skills down in the post, no heart, runs away from his problems. Yeah, not a competitor. Andrew Bynum, skill-wise, before he got hurt, and I know it's strange, I'm talking about Andrew Bynum, and he hadn't really played real basketball in the last couple of years, but you know the point I'm trying to make. Andrew Bynum had a great skill set. I mean, he had a nice, soft touch around the basket, had a lot of low-post moves like Dwight doesn't have. So, that's something I was involved with this past weekend on the Doug Stewart Show. But the point of all of this conversation is the chat is where I let you make your opinions heard. That's right, the chat room on Spreaker.com. I'm going to read more chat here in a second. Got off on a little tangent about Dwight Howard, old soft ass. But, so the news came out like late Friday about Chris Bosh and him and these blood clots, and it's been confirmed he does have blood clots, and he's done for the year. Yeah, and that's a real shot at their efforts to win basketball games and possibly make a run in the playoffs, and all that's secondary at this point. That's not even important, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. But Chris Bosh could have died from this, and I don't know to the extent of which he's out of the woods, but they caught it early, and it looks like he's going to make a full recovery. He's going to be fine, but he's done with basketball this year. And we found out later after the fact that this is what actually killed Jerome Kersey just a couple of days earlier. So very, very strange, those set of events. But, Chris Bosh is done for the year for the Miami Heat from blood clots. And they made the move for Goran Dragic, and he comes in, and they're thinking that they got a nice starting five that they can go out and contend in the Eastern Conference. Probably not the case now without Chris Bosh. I mean, he's not. And we always clown on Chris Bosh and talk about him and some of his let's just put it like this, strange ways. But dude's a great basketball player. He is. He's a fantastic basketball player. And on that team in particular, as being the highest paid member of that squad, what he does for that team and that organization just can't be replaced. So they're probably done as far as a team that's going to make a run in the playoffs this year. And speaking of basketball, man, and talking about Phil Jackson calling out his Knicks team, basically throwing shade on them. Last night, the Cleveland Cavaliers, man, they just destroy the New York Knicks 101-83. And in said game, your boy LeBron James passes Allen Iverson on the scoring list all time. Yeah. Allen Iverson's one of my favorite players of all time. But LeBron James is clearly going to go down as one of the top, 3, 4, 5 players of all time. So he passes Allen Iverson last night on the scoring list, and they continue to roll. And now there's talk about bringing in Kendrick Perkins, I guess just to add some size to the front court. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and you know my opinions about Kendrick Perkins. I think he's vastly overrated. I don't know how he even got it rated anyway. I mean, he's a tough player, and you always want tough players. But once again, he really does nothing but just, have a presence. Like, his defense isn't that great. I don't think his feet are that great. He has no real scoring capability at all. But, I guess he's got this tough mentality, and LeBron referred to him as his new muscle. So I guess that's important to a degree, but they're going to add him to the roster. He got bought out in the trade that he was just acquired from. I think he went to, I can't remember which team it was that made the deal for him. But it was the Jazz. They bought out his contract, and so they're basically going to release him, and he's going to probably sign with Cleveland just to be another piece, another body for that Cleveland Cavaliers team. And this is what teams do, man. They fortify what they got. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show going into the playoffs. And it looks like Cleveland's making, they're just stashing away their chestnuts, man, like squirrels. And they're just building up their squad to take on anything that comes their way in the playoffs. And, man, the Hawks lose again this past weekend. And It seems like the Hawks are starting to fall off a little bit, and at the same time, the Cleveland Cavaliers are coming up. They're coming up, man, right in front of our eyes. And with LeBron, Kyrie, Kevin Love, if he can play good basketball, and you add in pieces, and Timothy Mozgov, and J.R. Smith, and Amon Shumpert and these guys, man, it's almost like it's written. It's almost like it's written, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And I hope the Hawks can figure things out. And now it's not time to panic if you're a Hawks fan, but it hadn't looked good over the last 5 games, even before or right before the All-Star break. Some people might say the Hawks are coming back to life and back to reality. I don't want to say that yet. Give me a couple more days, couple more games, couple more weeks before I'm willing to say that. But I can tell you what, the Cleveland Cavaliers, man, they look like the team that's going to be the team to beat in the Eastern Conference playoffs this year. 404-382-0338. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Let me read more of your chat. From Rel Scott, is this fight happening 3 years too late? And see, that's the thing that I'm not going to like. I'm not going to like. When Floyd wins this game, see, that's a perfect example right there, Rel Scott. That's a perfect example right there what the hell I'm talking about. So, when Floyd, and I fully expect Floyd to dominate this fight with Pacquiao, when he wins the fight, then the shift of the conversation is going to go to it's 5 years too late. Like, why didn't Floyd do this 5 years ago? You know that's what's going to happen, right? Because the people that don't like Floyd Mayweather, they're still not going to like him even when he wins. So the talk's going to go from he's scared to he waited 5 years too late to fight Floyd and talking about Manny Pacquiao. You know that's what's going to happen, right? You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Sure as my name ain't Sam. That's what's going to happen. So it's almost like damned if you do, damned if you don't. I guess at the end of the day, Floyd probably understands and realizes that. I guess at the end of the day, it's all about just getting this money. Whatever. Haters going to hate. You can say whatever the hell you want, but I'm going to cash this check for $120 million, so be it. I guess that's where Floyd came to, or the point Floyd came to in this conversation with himself on whether he's going to do this thing. Because I'm going to make $120 million, whatever. People are going to say what they want to say, and you already got people talking about it right now. And I saw a lot of this on Twitter this weekend. Yeah, it's 5 years too late. I wish you would have done this 5 years ago. It can't make y'all happy. The man can't make y'all happy. Damned if he do, damned if he doesn't. Eugene Jackson, Pacquiao has the knockout power to end Mayweather's streak. Oh, yeah. Oh, everybody got the knockout power. Everybody has knockout power to win a fight. That's always a possibility. Harvey Scott, Doug, Pac-Man is smaller than Marquez. Yes, he is. John Fisher, I guess you're saying that didn't matter. John Fisher, by the time Floyd gets done with Manny, he'll be speaking proper English. Now, come on, man. That wasn't necessary. And listen, don't send hateful things. That wasn't necessary. Come on, man. That wasn't necessary. He's speaking proper English. English isn't his first language. Of course he's not going to, be Brian Gumbo. What? This second is his first language? Don't do that. Don't do that, man. We're better than that around here. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. William Mack, people have been talking about how Manny can KO Floyd. Floyd is the best defensive fighter of his generation. He's never tasted the canvas. You can't hit what you can't catch. Yes. That's exactly right. From Ronald Cameron, Manny struggles with counterpunchers, Marquez. And Floyd is a better counterpuncher than anyone Manny has faced. Manny will have his moments early, but Floyd's accuracy and speed will be too much for Manny. Floyd wins a majority decision. And that's exactly right. Not only is Floyd the best counterpuncher that Manny's ever seen, I argue somebody to tell me a better counterpuncher ever than Floyd Mayweather. Yes, there's never been a better counterpuncher than Floyd Mayweather that I can remember or that I've seen, let's put it like this, in the last 40 years of me being cognizant and watching boxing. There isn't. There isn't. And he just doesn't get hit. I can't wait. I just can't wait till the day after. What they gonna say then? What they gonna say then? After Floyd dominates this fight. What y'all gonna say then? That's the question. The Oklahoma Sigma. With a little controversy and a rematch, Floyd can make $300 million in 2 fights. Yeah, and that's the bad part about boxing. What would make more money? Floyd to lose this fight or Manny Pacquiao to lose this fight? What would make more money? Let me think about that during the break. When we come back, I'll tell you what I think. And when we get back, we're going to talk to legendary linebacker, defensive end, Chris Dolman. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! System 5 Electronics is proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's just a few reasons to choose System 5. Not only is their monitoring station located here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own your security alarm system once it's installed. Not only have they been around for almost 25 years, but their customer service is excellent. And you get direct access to the owner, Mr. Maceo Brown, to resolve any issues with your alarm system. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736. And make sure and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Yes! You promised yourself you were going to take better care of your health this year, right? Here's a great place to start with Meds from Nature. MedsFromNature.com sells homeopathic medicines for consumers looking for safe, natural, and effective alternative health products. You then say, Stu, what's homeopathy? Then I'd say it's the safe, gentle, and natural system of healing that works with your body to relieve symptoms, restore itself, and improve overall health. Meds from Nature sells the top natural medicines with no side effects, and they're also FDA regulated. Unlike supplements or herbs over the counter, they have a lower cost per dose than prescription medicines, prices lower than Whole Foods, plus use promo code SPORTS and get an extra 25% off. Shipping and handling charges kept to a minimum. Then they safely pack and quickly ship the products to their customers. So check them out at medsfromnature.com and get your health in check for 2015. Yes! Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Man Talk Monday. Yes. Thank you so much for joining your boy. Really do appreciate it. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. And right now, joining me on the Doug Stewart Show line is Hall of Famer Chris Dolman. Mr. Dolman, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Doug. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for the time. I guess the obvious question for people out there and fans of Chris Dolman is, what's Chris Dolman doing these days after being retired from the NFL for many years?
Staying busy, that's for sure. I got involved in a couple of different things. One is that I have a company called Dolmanity, where we raise money for nonprofits using a sweepstakes platform. Just got done running a couple campaigns for Bo Jackson, Warren Moon. Our next campaign, I think, is coming up. It's going to be Misty Copeland, who's the number one ballerina in the U.S. And just being busy, man. I'm, still on the board of the Boys and Girls Club. Big supporter of the Boys and Girls Club. I grew up in the Boys and Girls Club. What else am I doing? I have part of a company called the Fantasy Sports Network, where we aggregate the information and get it to the fans who are following fantasy sports. So I've been pretty busy.
Talking to Chris Dolman right now with the Doug Stewart Show on the DougStewartShow.com. Hall of Famer. You made it into the Hall of Fame in 2012. Congratulations. A lot of people know that it took you a couple of years from being on the ballot to actually make it in. How excited were you to get in? I guess it's a two-part question. How excited were you to get in? And what are your thoughts about being, not voted into the Hall of Fame for many years?
The process, the average wait is 10 years. Mine has been, it was 7 years that I got in. I was only a finalist for 2 years, which is great. I think it's harder for guys who are rushed to the finalist list than turned away. The great Lynn Swann was a finalist for 14 years. That's brutal.
Right.
I just think that, my path, would you like to go on in earlier? Sure. Are you happy that you went in? Absolutely. And what would you have done differently in the past? I wouldn't have done anything. It's all about the vote. It's all about how they see you and where's your mark in the history of the game. You look at Chris Carter. It took him, over a decade. I think it took Jerome Bettis close to a decade to get in. I mean, this is not a slam dunk. There's only 200. I think with this class, like 292 players ever inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Right.
So those numbers are pretty small when there's been a list of, I want to say, 25,000 active players. There was 25,000 active players and coaches. You got owners you're going up against. It's just not a slam dunk.
Talking to Chris Dolman right now on the Doug Stewart Show, Hall of Famer, linebacker, defensive end for the Minnesota Vikings. How much of a relationship do you still have with the Vikings organization?
Oh, I have a lot. Matter of fact, we're putting together a campaign for the Vikings, for their Vikings Children's Charity. The thing is that you really don't lose a relationship with a team, after you retire. I mean, you're always part of that history. And as long as you're part of that history, people will always remember you from that. And the thing is that, I spent 10 years in Minnesota. I spent 2 here in Atlanta and 3 in San Francisco. But they all created, my career. I think if you take one of those teams out of the mix, you got a whole different ball game. You got a whole different, player. And, I was very happy and proud that I was able to make, the Pro Bowl and be all pro on 3 different teams. That kind of, tend to solidify your, I don't want to say your history, but it shows that you were a little bit different than, the average guy who was just a good player for one team for a long time.
Honored to have the great Chris Dolman on the line with the Doug Stewart Show, and this is a Man Talk Monday. You're based here in Atlanta, I believe. What about your fondest memory playing for the Atlanta Falcons, and what do you think about the new coach, Dan Quinn, that's coming into the organization?
I know that I don't know Dan Quinn. I know that Dan Quinn has been around Pete Carroll, who was my coach, who I think is one of the, greatest coaches that I've worked under and worked with. And now, talk about that a little bit. I think if he brings that mentality to the Falcons, I think they got a really good chance. The thing that's hurting the team so much is because they're out of balance. And when I say that you're out of balance is that, you're not able to get good players across the board. You got, the quarterback who's making, a lump sum, 20% of the salary cap, but you got to pay 53 other guys or 52 other guys with the rest of the money.
Right.
And as long as teams keep doing that, you're not going to have a success. If you look at the teams that are playing well, as soon as the guys come up, and I'll take New Orleans. As soon as guys came up, after they signed Drew Brees, they weren't able to keep anybody.
Right.
If you keep one or two wide receivers, you can't get defensive players. Then you turn around and you look at, a team like a Seattle Seahawks, where that they have, quarterback doesn't make a lot of money. There's nobody on the team that's really making a tremendous amount of money, kind of spread evenly. Then it becomes a team that everybody can play on. Now, Russell Wilson definitely needs a pay raise. I'll be the first to tell you that.
Right.
How do you structure that, and how do you get the balance and keep the balance of that team? That is going to be the trick. I think, when you look at your teams, and this is just my opinion, I don't feel that your quarterback is the number one guy on your team. Because I played 15 years, and I can tell you, for 15 years, the quarterback was not the number one player on my team.
Mm-hmm.
We've had some good quarterbacks, and we had some real bad quarterbacks.
Right.
And you just can't, whoever if it's the running back, and I'll use the example of Adrian Peterson in Minnesota, by far the best player on that team.
Right.
By far. Even with Teddy Bridgewater there, he's not even close. But you start putting, this special emphasis on quarterbacks. The question comes, really? I mean, sometimes the receiver make the quarterback doesn't make the receiver.
Right.
And I look at that when you look at, Kurt Warner, the greatest show on turf. I mean, I like Kurt. I appreciate Kurt, and what he's done. But, I mean, if you look at his numbers, until he got with Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt, they weren't great numbers.
Right.
And Vic Vermeil was not the, who's a great coach, but he put him in a position where that, hey, I understand what it's going to take for this kid to be successful, so let's build around that.
Right. Finishing up.
Let's make him successful from that standpoint.
Finishing up with Chris Dolman right now on the Doug Stewart Show, on the DougStewartShow.com. Before I let you go, I was looking at your resume, I guess, or your record, and I forgot that you played for Pitt. And Pitt used to be a great program when I was coming up, won many national championships over its history, but it hadn't been, winning. It hadn't been one of those successful programs over the last, 20-something years. How close are you to that program? Are you still close to that program? And what do you think it's going to take for Pitt to get back on top?
I think the recruiting has been awful. They have not been able to get the good Pennsylvania kid, the good Ohio kid, Virginia kid, Maryland kid. They're all going to, their prospective schools, Ohio State and University of Maryland and, Syracuse and all these other different places. Pitt has a tremendous football history.
Right.
They always put out great players. And we just got to get back to getting, take some of the politics out of this. I don't like this guy because he's not friendly, or I don't like this guy because how he wears his hair. Let's get back to getting guys that understand the community, understand the kids, and go out and bring those kids, back to the University of Pittsburgh. Don't let them go to Ohio State. Don't let them go to West Virginia. Because, from, Marino to, Tony Dorsett. By the way, the University of Pittsburgh has, I think it's the third or fourth most players in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah. You guys have won 9 national championships, and people don't even realize it.
This is no joke. I mean, these are great players that come from a great school. And, and in its merit of order, I mean, Pitt's in the top 10, of some of the oldest schools in the country.
Right.
Harvard being number one. So, I mean, this is a great program and a great organization. And for some odd reason, they're not able to sell it, like they did in the past.
Hey, well, Chris, thank you so much for your time. We always love catching up with Hall of Famers. Thank you, I guess, and congratulations for all the charitable stuff you're doing in Atlanta. And we'll talk to you down the road, Chris.
I appreciate the opportunity, Doug. Thank you so much.
There he is, Chris Dolman right there on the Doug Stewart Show. Yes, Hall of Famers. I love Hall of Famers. Absolutely love talking to NFL Hall of Famers. All right, let's go ahead and jump to a break. We're a little bit behind as far as our break, but that's okay. We'll just make the next segment a little bit smaller. And when we get back, I'll read more of your chat. Still talking about everything from this past weekend. Ton of chat, man. We break records every single day as far as the chat and the conversation, and I absolutely love it. I do. I really appreciate it, man. Yes, sir. Yeah. When we get back from the break, man, an NFL linebacker can't get right, man. And a major leaguer is doing something real drastic. I'll tell you about that when we get back from the break. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. The Doug Stewart Show. Everybody's different, man. And this really takes you back to my number one question. Okay? This wouldn't even be a topic of conversation. Larry Foote and all of his other detractors, Marshawn Lynch's detractors, wouldn't even have to even make comments and give commentary like this about how he's showing kids that you don't have to respect authority. He wouldn't even have to do this. They wouldn't even have to make these politically correct statements if the press would just stop putting a microphone in front of this dude's face. There would be no reason to have a discussion, a geopolitical discussion about Marshawn Lynch and his effect to society and to kids and their thinking on authority if the media, who are all sensible people, would stop putting a microphone in front of his face.
Attention Viagra, Levitra, and Cialis users. Current prices average between $25 and $35 per pill. Are you searching for an alternative to the high prices you now pay for brand name drugs? We're providing U.S. consumers a low-cost alternative. Our current special is 50 pills with free shipping for $99 with incredibly fast shipping times. Our phone staff is available right now. And did we mention that shipping is free? Call right now to take advantage of this special offer. 855-781-3847 with discreet home delivery and 100% satisfaction guarantee. What are you waiting for? Call for an affordable alternative. Our current special is 50 pills with free shipping for only $99. Call 855-781-3847. Speak to a rep about getting a discreet shipment to your home and start saving a ton of money. Viagra, Levitra, and Cialis users. You can't afford to not call 855-781-3847.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. And this is a Man Talk Monday. Had the great Chris Dolman on. You talk about a beast. Chris Dolman was a beast. Hall of Famer. After not making it for 7 years, but he finally gets to the NFL Hall of Fame in 2012. This is the Doug Stewart Show. The number is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. A couple little stories, man. Rolando McClain, linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys, formerly the Oakland Raiders. He's facing a 4-game suspension, man, for violating the NFL substance abuse policy. Now, this guy just can't get right. Like, what's up with Rolando McClain? Very happy when he went to the Raiders. Thought he would have been a great piece. He walked away from the game. Just basically said that he didn't want to play football anymore. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Then he says, yeah, you know what? I kind of missed those checks. And he comes back and plays for Dallas last year and just balls out of control. Really, probably the most solid guy on that defense before he got hurt later in the year. What's up with this guy, man? If you're a Cowboy fan, what are your thoughts on Rolando McClain? It's almost like you can't trust him. And also another little sports story. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and I'm going to read more of your chat here in Spreaker.com. Is B.J. Upton, for the Atlanta Braves, he's been slumping the last couple of years. B.J. is changing his damn name. Well, he's not changing it. He's going by his birth name. His birth name is Melvin Upton Jr., and so he's going to start going by that now, kind of like a way to get out of this funk that he's been in over the last couple of years. Now he doesn't have his brother. Justin Upton was shipped off to San Diego, I believe. And so BJ's trying to, get out of this funk that he's been under. And everybody, I remember when they signed BJ and Justin, everybody was like, oh, my gosh, we got the best outfield in baseball. Now Jason Hayward gone to St. Louis, and Justin gone to San Diego, and BJ's by himself now. And this is the guy. The other two guys have been playing great baseball, speaking from a perspective of a Braves fan, and we got the worst out of the three. And hopefully this man can turn it around. But he's sucked. He's sucked as he's been here in Atlanta. So from now on, there's no more BJ. He's trying to break this hex or this curse or whatever is going on with him and his slumping behind the plate. And from now on, call him Melvin. His mama call him Melvin, I'm going to call him Melvin. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. Let me read more of this chat. And I talked about it before we got on Chris Dolman. What would be the bigger controversy? What way would this fight between Pacquiao and Mayweather generate the most money and the most hype for the rematch? And a lot of times in boxing, that's what you got to do. You got to factor that in because it's boxing. And that's what goes down. A lot of shady stuff. I think if Floyd were to lose, I think that it would be a more hyped up and a bigger payday for the rematch. For the obvious reasons, I think Floyd would be favored in this fight. People expect Floyd to win, so if he loses, selling that rematch would be easier. But if he goes out there and dominates Manny Pacquiao, then, you can still sell it, but not to the degree you could if Floyd lost. So, and I hate that even that conversation's even coming up right now, but it is boxing. Once again, I can't say that enough. It's boxing, and crazier things have happened. So we see this type of thing all the time. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope it's a good, clean fight, and I hope whoever wins, wins. Okay? Obviously, for my argument's sake, because I've been saying it for many, many years, I think Floyd's one of those next-level boxers, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I hope Floyd wins. But if Manny wins, which I don't think is going to happen, so it even sounds strange to even say that statement, make that statement. If Manny wins, I like Manny too. I respect Manny. I think Manny Pacquiao is a great fighter, but he's just not an all-timer. Floyd is an all-timer. From Leon, a lot of people really think Pacquiao will win. Just can't see it. No, I can't either, Leon. From Vince Wright, but Floyd's legacy was on the line. He couldn't have that flaw in his record. Oh, he could have. I mean, I don't need to see this fight, and I've said it before. If I was Floyd, I wouldn't even fight the damn guy. I guess I would because of the money they're talking about. But as far as fighting the guy or fighting Pacquiao because people are out there saying that you have to do it and this, that, and the other, whatever. To hell with y'all. This is my legacy, and I'm undefeated. I've never been knocked down. I made like $500 gazillion. I mean, I don't think it would have been a black Marco Floyd's career or his record if he didn't fight Manny Pacquiao. I mean, no. I mean, the guy is shown he's dominant. Everybody they put in front of Floyd Mayweather, he's dominated. Everybody. Before the fight, they said so-and-so's got a chance. Ricky Hatton's got a chance. Oscar De La Hoya's got a chance. So-and-so's got a chance. And then after the fight was over, he wasn't that good. Talking about the guy Floyd beat. So I don't think that you're going to make the Floyd Mayweather detractors happy no matter what happens. So that wouldn't have been a big thing for me. From KC, baller to my boy Jameis for showing he should be the first player drafted. Busted to all those analysts who tried to bring this kid down. There really wasn't a lot of the negative talk about Jameis this weekend because he was there. You know how it is. You know how these guys are, man. I mean, you know how these guys are. These guys will talk a lot of smack when you're not in the room with them. It's kind of like a form of keyboard courage. You know, you were saying all of this stuff and throwing all of this shade on Jameis Winston when he wasn't there. And I get this. You're trying to be professional, and you don't want to throw negative things at a guy and make the whole conversation contentious. I get that. But, yeah, of course they're not going to talk down about Jameis Winston in front of his face. From William Mack, baller to Russell Westbrook for holding down OKC in Durant's absence. Yeah, Durant's going down, and Russell Westbrook, once again, as he's done many, many times this year, because Durant missed the first part of the season as well. He's just an all-time player. I mean, Westbrook is a beast, and we talked about this a lot after the All-Star game. I mean, I really don't think that we've seen or we've had the opportunity to see Russell Westbrook like take control of a team or control or be the main guy for a team, obviously because Durant's on the Oklahoma City Thunder. But it just makes me wonder what type of guy would he be, or what type of player would he be if he was the main guy on said team. And that we talked about, you know, a possible trade I had thought about a couple of years ago, him for Rajon Rondo in Boston, and how he would be if he had his own team to just go off and not have to worry about getting touches to Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant should get the touches. He's the best player on that team. But this is a very unique situation when you've got two players that may go down as some of the all-time greats, you know, came into the league and came onto the team together. Just phenomenal. Westbrook is just a beast. KC, Mayweather versus Pacquiao, Kentucky Derby, and day 3 of the NFL draft. All of that came out this weekend. No, that didn't. Oh, okay, I get it. Not the Combine, the NFL draft. That's what's going to be going on May 2nd. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Those 3 things. Day 3 of the NFL draft, the Kentucky Derby, which I missed that Kentucky Derby too. That's another story for another day. As well as Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Man, if you work with HBO, I need a good number to call somebody to get out to Vegas on May 2nd for this Pacquiao-Mayweather fight, man. Oh, and I've said it before. You know, there's not a lot of things that I miss from being on Celestial Radio and with a quote-unquote big network. You know, there's not. But I miss going to Vegas on somebody else's dime. I got to be real about that. So if you work with HBO, and I lost all my contacts. This is a tragic story, but I had a couple of contacts from HBO. If you can get word to HBO that the Doug Stewart Show would like to be on the scene, please do that for me. Yeah, get word to them folks, man. Have them call me back. Just call me back. Just call us back. I'd like to be in Vegas and promote Pacquiao Mayweather. I would. See, don't hand me some tissue. Yeah, I laugh so I don't cry. Yeah. Hey, when we get back from the break, more sports talk, more your chat. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Man Talk Monday. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! System 5 Electronics is proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's just a few reasons to choose System 5. Not only is their monitoring station located here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own your security alarm system once it's installed. Not only have they been around for almost 25 years, but their customer service is excellent. And you get direct access to the owner, Mr. Maceo Brown, to resolve any issues with your alarm system. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736. And make sure and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Yes! You promised yourself you were going to take better care of your health this year, right? Here's a great place to start with Meds from Nature. MedsFromNature.com sells homeopathic medicines for consumers looking for safe, natural, and effective alternative health products. You then say, Stu, what's homeopathy? Then I'd say it's the safe, gentle, and natural system of healing that works with your body to relieve symptoms, restore itself, and improve overall health. Meds from Nature sells the top natural medicines with no side effects, and they're also FDA regulated. Unlike supplements or herbs over the counter, they have a lower cost per dose than prescription medicines, prices lower than Whole Foods, plus use promo code SPORTS and get an extra 25% off. Shipping and handling charges kept to a minimum. Then they safely pack and quickly ship the products to their customers. So check them out at medsfromnature.com and get your health in check for 2015. Yes! This is the realest, the trillest sports talk show in America, the Doug Stewart Show. Ooh, this takes me back right here. Now, this song was way before my era when I got to college, but when we were in college, the Q's, Do or Die, Zai Sai, we stepped to this one year at homecoming or something like that, man, and it was off the chain. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you so much for joining your boy. I want to bring Tree, get on the mic here for a second. I wanted to ask Tree, we were talking about it during the break, about the Oscars last night. So what were your thoughts about the Oscars? I want to let people hear what you had to say.
A big ass L. You know what the L stands for?
What?
Lame.
Lame, huh?
I mean, I really don't like to have my time hijacked. Right. I tried it, and it just was not working.
So you were one of the people that haven't seen the Birdman movie. Are you compelled to go see it now like I am or not?
Not really. Michael Keaton looks like he's got stage 4 cancer in the movie, the previews I saw.
Yeah?
He looks kind of scary.
Right.
I'm not interested.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, that was a lot of the talk earlier. People was like, nah, don't even talk about it. We didn't see it. We haven't seen this movie. And I'm kind of getting some shade. And let me see, you say thumbs up. about the movie in general. So I don't think I'm even gonna go see it, Tree.
No, I think you got a good. I mean, the list.
Okay, we got some problem right now with the microphone, so we'll try to work that out. The number is 404-382-0338. You got enough time to still call the show. I'm gonna read some more of this chat here in a second. This is from K-Max. Says, did you guys see this weekend? It was highlighted that Jameis was smart enough to get into Stanford. He has a very high IQ. Most kids make dumb mistakes. That's life, but he's a smart IQ quarterback. I agree. Yeah, we've heard that he's very book smart. We knew that he had made like very high scores coming out of high school, high SATs or whatever. So he's a book smart kid as well. From KC, word on the street, Jameis Winston has been meeting regularly with a prominent Tampa pastor mentor. The Bucs are taking him first. And I mentioned this after Lovie Smith had made the statement that he has no problem in taking Jameis Winston. Why not go ahead and just, make that proclamation that you're going to take him? And they've done that before. I can't remember exactly who it was. Maybe it was Sam Bradford. The St. Louis Rams put it out way before the draft that that's who they're going to take. So they gave him the playbook. Like, if you're going to take him, and it's way too far right now, but I'm talking a couple of weeks, maybe a month before the draft, if you're going to take Jameis Winston, give the man the playbook right now. And because of this rookie pay scale, you have a better opportunity to do that. You know exactly what you're going to pay him. It's not like a situation where before this rookie pay scale came into play from the collective bargaining agreement that, you weren't sure about how much you were going to have to pay this guy or you're going to be able to sign this guy or not. It's not even like that anymore. If you're Tampa Bay, go ahead and get a man the damn playbook right now. Why not? Why not? So stop the charade. Give the man the playbook right now and be like, Jameis, you're our guy. Now, maybe not right now, but a month before the draft, 3 weeks before the draft, give him the damn book. Stop playing. Stop playing. Get him ahead of the game. Get him out in front of things. Give him a head start on learning your playbook and your system and your coaches. Why not? Why not? From Jungle Brother, explain to me how Winston is dumb, then explain one's qualifications for calling a dude playing a pro-style offense, winning a Heisman, avoiding the pitfalls, and positioning yourself to be number 2 pick in the draft. Explain how that is dumb. And I guess Jungle Brother is referring to somebody in the chat room that called Jameis Winston dumb. Football Junkie, Jameis's media interview on Friday was impressive. I believe dude will be special. Once again, he may not be special. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. He may get in the NFL and flop. I mean, that's happened more than once or twice. You feel me? But you have to take him. Based on everything you've seen in his resume, you have to take him. Especially if you don't have a franchise quarterback in place already like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't. You've got to take him. From King Blaine, anybody who saw Winston rehash that play with Mariucci on the whiteboard knows dude is beyond smart. Yes! Yes! And that's one of the biggest things I came away from this weekend. If you watch what he did when Mariucci was going over this play with him, at some point when Jameis got to the whiteboard with his little marker and started scribbling out and talking about said play and diagramming it, it was almost like he turned into the coach. It's like he turned into the coach. And this is something you've heard from Florida State, from Jimbo Fisher, and how fast this guy learns. And once again, all I need to know, and there's a lot to go before it happens, all I need to know is I have heard repeatedly, I've heard it mentioned repeatedly from quote-unquote analysts and experts that the progression has been John Elway. Then you can throw in Peyton Manning. I remember the same conversation with Peyton Manning. It was John Elway, then it was Peyton Manning, then it was Andrew Luck, and the same way they talked about those three guys and brought them up as far as being so ahead of the game and so advanced coming out of college and ready to play in the NFL is Jameis Winston. That's all I know. That's all I know. Them four guys. You've had those four guys talked about in the same group, in the same category over the last 40 years. You've had a lot of great ones, but I'm telling you, go back and listen to the McShays and to the Mel Kipers of the world, and it's John Elway, it's Peyton Manning, it's Andrew Luck, and it's Jameis Winston. For that alone, you got to take them. Simple as that. And I don't think this is even as hard as we're making it out to be. I think Tampa Bay already knows what they're going to do, and I think they're going to take Jameis Winston. And once again, we don't know. We don't know what anybody's going to do when they come out of the draft and out of college. We don't know what's going to happen to them between now and taking his first step in the NFL or first snap in the NFL. But based on what we do know, I think they got to take Jameis Winston. From Fred Mack, Doug, I'll send you to Vegas for the fight. Now you're going to stay just off the strip at the Moonlight Inn, and to get in the fight, I'm going to need you to be at the gate 6 hours early with a maintenance uniform. I'll get you the uniform. Hey, bro, I'll do it. I mean, that's fine. And the studio audience don't like that you're going to treat me like some second-class citizen, but that's fine. I'll do it. Inbox me. We can make this happen. I'll wear a damn uniform and fake like I'm a security guard, whatever. From William Wharton. You can watch it in my backyard with a couple 40 ounces, laugh out loud. Haven't drank a 40 since 1992. I will not now. Ronald Cameron. But remember, some of those Vegas judges are shady. A couple of years ago, Floyd shut out Canelo Alvarez on my scorecard. About one judge scored the fight 114 to draw. And, yes, that's exactly what I was talking about before, man. I mean, you don't want to trust. I mean, the ideal thing to do if you're Floyd Mayweather is to win the fight by knockout. Or they have to stop at TKO or whatever, because you don't want it to be anywhere close and go to the scorecards. You just don't. If you're any type of boxing fan, you've seen so much worse than just, that example that Ronald gave with Canelo. Floyd dominated that fight, and one scorecard had it a draw. That was so ridiculous. We've seen it many, many times. We've seen Roy Jones Jr. just whoop a man's ass in the Olympics, and then he lose. I mean, there's so many extreme cases of seemingly rigged scorecards that it's just too many to even just list. So, yeah, I am excited. I'm very excited, but I'm already smelling a rat. And I already know that no matter what the outcome, people are going to still hate on Floyd Mayweather. So really, it's kind of like, futile. It is, but I can't wait once again. I mean, I'm going to get hyped up. I'm going to be at a fight party. I'm going to be, having my little cocktails ready and eating me some wings. I'm going to be ready, just like the rest of America. We can't wait, finally. And they're talking about this fight being the biggest fight since the first Ali Frazier fight. And now it may not be as big as some of those fights of the early 70s, the Ali fights, maybe even some of the fights between, Sugar Ray Leonard and Hearns and Hagler and those guys, as far as hypeness. But money-wise, and just because of the economy and because it's 40 years later, they're going to make more money in this fight, man, than ever before. And big-time money means big-time interest. Yes, I mean, it's not even close. Big-time money means big-time interest. You better believe it, and I cannot wait. I absolutely cannot wait to see this fight. Yeah, and I know you can't either. And what y'all going to say, once again, when Floyd wins this fight? May 2nd. What's today's date? Today is February 23rd. March, April. Yeah, they got 2 months. A little bit over 2 months. I can't wait. Let the hype begin. Yes! Let the hype begin. The number is 404-382-0338. You can also give me a call tomorrow. And this is the Doug Stewart Show. I forgot this is the end of the show. Thought we were going to break. All right. Today's been a fun show, as usual. Continue to tell people about the show. Pass the word. We do it every day, Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the Doug Stewart Show. Shouts out to your tree. Thank you so much for all that you did today. Waterhead Walter, CJ, the DJ, Dwayne Gasson, Gerald Oliveri. Shouts out to you, Gerald. Gerald and Dwayne never really come into studio, but they do it all remotely. But shouts out to you guys. You make it happen around here. We'll do it again tomorrow on a Tight to Death Tuesday. Pass the word. Tell people. about the live. It's the most interactive, the most fun show in America, the Doug Stewart Show. Peace.